Evening. It's a lovely sunny evening in April 2022. I'm on the motorway going down towards Harwich. I'm on my big adventure, what I've been planning for the past couple of years since COVID lockdown. If you watched the videos, you know that we've swapped our camper van for a motorhome, and in the motorhome I've changed things around a little bit. I've got 200 watt solar panel on top. I've also got 2 gassite tanks in, which means I can fill up the gas for the cooking and the heating and the water anywhere that sells LPG in Europe. I've also got the adapters as well. I've got 258 miles to go to Harwich because I live on the other side of the country in Wigan. So it says it's taking me about 4 hours 15 or something like that. Been on the road for a little bit. I've got another 234 mile with 3 hours 55 minutes, but I'll be stopping as well. I have the ferry tomorrow at Harwich sailing at 9 o'clock, and we should be at the Hook of Holland around about 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So this time tomorrow I'll be travelling through Holland into Belgium. Now this trip I'm doing on my own. I'm going for around about 2 months, and Sharon, my partner, isn't coming because one thing is she's still working, and secondly she's just changed her job and I've retired anyway. But I'm doing this because if you've watched my other channel, Bunkers, Fortifications and Megastructures, you know I'm into the First and Second World War. So I've planned quite a lot of stuff to look at when I'm in Europe. Now my initial plan was going to Ukraine. But at this present time, unfortunately, Ukraine's been attacked by Russia. So that's out of the question. My other one was to go around Poland. A lot of stuff for me to see in Poland. But because of the Ukrainian crisis, the east side of Poland, which borders Ukraine and Belarus, really is a no-go area. So I'm obviously going through Holland into Belgium, then into Germany, and then as I travel up towards the north of Germany, I may nip to the west of west of Poland. There's a few bits and pieces I could look up there, some interesting stuff, but I don't know yet. I couldn't tell you. That's going to be later on in the trip. Then, if I do go into Poland, I'll be back into Germany, and then into the Netherlands again, and then go to Belgium, and then to France. I booked a one-way ticket here, so this is a one-way trip. And what I'll do is, if I decide that I've had enough, I can book a trip back. If I want to carry a bit longer, then I can do. It just give me a bit more freedom, really. I intend on doing a lot of wild camping. I have an app called Parking for Night, and that tells me a lot of places I can just park up for night, or get some water, empty the toilet, stuff like that. Some campsites I'll do maybe, but the vast majority of the trip won't be. I'll be into woodlands, or maybe the side of a road, or whatever it may be. That just keeps the cost down, to be quite honest with you. Fuel isn't cheap these days, and obviously I've got to buy food. But if I can keep the cost down by not using campsites, that's better for me anyway. I don't need the 240 or 230 watt. I don't need the electric 130 sitting unit, something like that. I don't need it. So everything in the van is run off 12 volt. The only thing that isn't run off 12 volt is my laptop. That is, I think it's 19 volts, something like that. But I've got an inverter, a small 150 watt inverter, and that'll work. I've tried it before, so I won't be without power at all. And if the solar panels can't keep up the power drain, I'll just switch the engine on and do it that way instead. So what I'll do with me this little big adventure channel, I'll document where I'm going. I'm not putting the war stuff on, there's no point. And if I go on 20 campsites, I'll tell you all about it. If I go to 20 park ups, I'll tell you about it. There's some of that's unusual. I'll stick it on a series of videos probably, and then put it on the original channel. The war stuff will be on a separate channel, as you know. I've just mentioned the channel itself, and I'll put a link in the bottom of the description if you fancy looking at that. If you're interested, I try and look at other stuff that people don't normally look at. Just creates a bit of interest for me anyway, and I love travelling and looking at all this stuff, and it educates me more than anybody else, I would say. So anyway, I'm going down here on the M6 at the moment. I'll be stopping off at some point. I've had no tea yet. I was busy loading the van up before, making sure that's okay. So I'll stop off at a service station next 150 mile or whatever it may be. Maybe grab myself a coffee and something to eat, a sandwich or something like that. And then I should get to the Harwich docks round about midnight-ish. Now, that app I told you about before, the parking for night, it's saying that I can actually park on the side of the docks there. It seems as though the security staff let you do that. I'm assuming you may have to sign, you know, show the paper what you've got and all this stuff. I'll do that first, obviously. But at this present time, you don't need to give a negative COVID test for people who've been vaccinated. Now, I've been vaccinated. I've had 3 vaccinations, and I've printed it off. I've also got it on my phone, so if somebody wants to see it, then they can see it. Hopefully, everything goes according to plan, and I can get into Europe, and off I go then. So come along and have a look at what I get up to on both my channels. I'm at Harwich docks. I've just got here, it's 12:05. You can see other people here as well. Motorhomes, caravan as well. It seems like we're allowed to stay here. I checked out a thing called Parking for Night, and it says you can stop here for the night, which is free. There's one right over there as well. Maybe other people will come as well, but tomorrow we'll be checking in down there, and then we can get over to the Huckerville, and tomorrow, well today actually, about 5:15 at night, which is 4:15 in our language, in our country. Right.